Hello, I'm MJ Fite with today's thought. Today's thought is building lifelong relationships. In life, we all have the ability to do many things. I've come to find that there is one thing that we are all capable of doing, and that is being relationship builders. What does it mean when we talk about building a lifelong relationship? Well, I'll start off by saying growing up as a kid, I had the example, or actually the pleasure of watching my Uncle Buck and his wife to begin with, and they've been married for quite a long time, and I scratch my head and I wonder, how they stay together over the years. And even now, being 30 myself, how do they still stay together? And it still fascinates me. Or even my mentor and his wife, they've been married to me forever, and I still scratch my head and wonder, how do they still stay together? Or even myself, I'm going on 10 years of marriage, and I still scratch my head and wonder, how do we stay together? And evaluating all three relationships, it comes down to one factor. And that factor is each person involved in their relationship constantly build and they constantly add it into their relationship each and every day. So we talk about building lifelong relationships. It's not about trying to go build someone else's relationships. It's about taking the time each and every day to build your own relationship, whether it be a friendship, whether it be marriage. Whatever the case may be, it's taking the time each and every day to add on to that relationship or that friendship to make it something special and great for the long run. Take the time to build your lifelong relationship. As you'll find with any friendship or relationship, whether it be marriage or long time friends or whatever, it takes time. The best relationships are the ones that are constantly worked on each and every day. If you fail to work on it or you take it for granted, you'll instantly lose it. It doesn't take much to lose a friend. It takes a lot to get one, but it's very easy to lose one. Same thing with a marriage. It's easy to get a woman to be your wife, but if you don't take care of business at home, you could actually lose your wife. Or even if you're a flip-flop, wife, husband, same thing. The point we're getting across here is that, as I mentioned earlier with the three relationships, one with my Uncle Buck, my mentor, and myself, they take time. They had to be worked on. You could not, in those cases, even in my case, I can't take one day for granted. If you don't build on your relationships each and every day, if you don't take the appropriate time to build on them, they're not going to last for a lifetime. They're going to last for a long run. They're going to vanish up in smoke. So take the time each and every day to build on your lifelong relationships. The key to this principle is patience. Do you have the patience to build your lifelong relationships? That's for you to decide. As I mentioned, patience, you'll find that that's one of the hardest things you are going to endure when you're talking about building a lifelong friendship or a lifelong relationship that could turn into marriage. It is hard, especially when you have conflicts of interest along the way, when things may not seem right on some days. You still have to constantly build. You have to constantly work at it. You have to keep plugging away at it. Eventually, one day, or I'll take the case of me and my wife, one day, well actually in my case, a year of trying to contact my wife online eventually turned into one day at the park, which eventually turned to a phone call at 9:01, which eventually led to us moving in together, which ultimately led to marriage. And here we are almost 10 years later with a kid, still trying to work at this thing each and every day. And then I look at the other two relationships that I mentioned before, how they've had to work on their relationships, and now they're still married, and I'm fascinated by it. In all those cases, you'll find that it takes work, it takes time, and no relationship just becomes instant. You may say, well, I instantly like somebody, but if you don't build it, you'll lose it. Remember, lifelong relationships takes you working every day at it. If you don't work at it every day, you'll lose it. So take the time to build upon it and watch it grow. I'm MJ Fite with today's thought. And remember, a thought can take you in many different directions, but it's you that determines that direction. Have a good day.